What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Iccy Show. This is interview 606 interviews I've done. Give this special guest from Springfield, Massachusetts to Boston, 617-2978 a second to get on here and we will start this Iccy Show. If you want to be a guest, I'm booking until the end of December, so inbox your girl Jackie Brown with 2 C's, I.E. Brown, and I will let you know the dates I have available. Also, if it's your birthday, happy birthday. If it's your anniversary, happy anniversary. And my condolences to anyone who has lost anyone. Peace on this Saturday evening. I hope everyone's having a blessed day. Definitely. Put your area codes, the countries you're tuning in, definitely. We're going to give this queen a second to get on here. Last night's interview, we had technical difficulties. I apologize on that. I'm not too sure what happened, but I hope to get that rescheduled soon. After tonight, tune in on the 19th, the 20th, 22nd, then 23rd is Thanksgiving, 25th, 27th, 29th, 30th. And like I said, we are already booking into December. All my interviews are $50. We're not just local, we are internationally. This special artist right here was up for a Grammy, so salute to her. I can't wait to interview, definitely. Peace, queen. I sent you the invite. Did you get it in your notifications? I could send it again to you too. I just sent you it again. If you don't get the request, you could send me a request too. There we go. Tuning in from, and here we go. Hey, welcome to the Iccy Show. How you doing, queen?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. This is interview 606 interviews. This is Taija, new from Springfield, Massachusetts to Boston 617-2978. Welcome. It's a pleasure.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
To be here.
Congratulations. You were up recently for a Grammy Award. And how did you make out with that?
Yeah, we were up for Grammy consideration to be nominated for Best Rap Melodic Performance. And it was like touch and go. It was like very nail biting. We did not make it through to nominations this year. But the thing about it is we were always looking at this as a step in the right direction to be able to be nominated probably next year or the year after. So I was just honored to be considered. And, I think that the people who did end up on the list, rightfully so. So I'm really excited to just keep going and moving forward and seeing what we can do after this consideration.
Definitely. Salute to you.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. You get your flowers from the Iccy Show. That's major. Just to get a nomination is amazing, and it's a good feeling. And I know you're gonna go harder because I was watching some of your performance. Salute to you, part of DBN Television. I was actually part of them. I was there for a year and a half.
Oh, really?
Yes. So when I see you, yes, Gina, tell Gina the Iccy Show. Yes, small world, definitely. And salute to you. I was with Pharaoh Bacon. What Sizzle Pop?
Yup. Yes, Sizzle Pop. I've been on Sizzle Pop a couple of times.
Yes. So I was there for a year and a half. So salute to everybody out there. And congratulations. I was seeing you on the podcast, and that's amazing. How does it feel being a young lady from Boston area code 617 to Springfield 413?
Mm-hmm.
How does it feel?
I've been doing this for just over 10 years. So, it's been It's been interesting, you know, especially with the industry changing the way that it has, to where at first we didn't have a lot of female MCs or anything like that when I first came in, to now, you know, there's a bunch, you know, and everybody doing their own thing. So it's it's been an interesting ride, but I feel like I'm glad that, you know, as a woman, like, coming into this and where we are now, that there's more room for us, you know what I mean? So very, very cool. I mean, the 413, it raised me, you know, so I'm just blessed to be amongst a lot of different artists, and we have a lot of artists from the 413. So, you know, it's just it's a blessing. It's a blessing to be in a creative space and have that type of culture, you know what I'm saying, and be able to be a part of that and contribute to it, especially as a woman.
Definitely. I've seen your performance. You did an amazing job. You were outside on the stage, and I'm like, wow, how do you juggle everything, you know, with your time with being a host, being an artist, you know, in your real life besides that? How do you manage to do everything? Because you're always outgoing, you're always live, full of effect. Every single time I see you, always keeping that smile glowing no matter what's going on. You always, and you're so serious at certain times when you need to. How do you manage everything?
Honestly, it's hard. Like, even right now, you know what I'm saying, I'm upstairs in my guest room, and I was literally, before coming on here, cooking oxtail rice and peas. So I'm like, you know, like, I'm literally juggling everything all the time. I'm like, oh, I gotta go up there. Like, let this get these peas out, you know. So it is difficult. It's difficult at times, because a lot of the times I'm like rushing from my 9 to 5, which I work at a college, so I'm rushing from my 9 to 5, and then I'm going to a podcast or a performance, and then, you know, I've got my everyday life with friends and family, where I try to carve out time for everybody and give everybody their time. So it's very, very difficult to keep that afloat,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Which is exactly why I feel like I'm at the point in my career where something has got to give, and that 9 to 5 has got to go. So
Yes, I understand. I definitely understand. And yes, yes. Blessings will come your way, definitely 2024. And with DBN, you'll notice things will climb up real fast for you. So
thank,
you're in good
thank
hands
you.
with everybody over there. You're very welcome. And I hope you do get an award. And they have an award show too. So you might be nominated through them, being a female, and especially out
Mm-hmm.
there. So much
Mm-hmm.
blessings from the Iccy
Thank
Show
you.
team. You're very welcome. What is your favorite song to perform?
My favorite song to perform. Oh my gosh, that's such a good question.
Hi, Mr. Six.
I, I feel like Headstrong is one of my favorite songs to perform. It's just got those island vibes, you know what I'm saying? And then on top of it, I feel like everybody just gets up and they feel like they want to move and kind of dance. I really, really like that, because I got records that are like, you know, sad. I got ones that kind of are like really, really fierce. And I feel as if Headstrong is one of those ones that's kind of fun, but it has that attitude to it, you know, at the same time. So Headstrong would definitely have to be the one.
Okay, okay, definitely. And what is the longest set you had when you performed out of all your shows you've done?
I believe it was an hour and a half, and that
Wow.
was at the Big E. Yeah,
And
yeah.
were you
It
nervous
was,
doing that one?
well, it was, because, you know, being from Springfield and, you know, coming up, always going to the Big E, that has always been a thing. You know what I mean? Destiny's Child was on that stage at once, so you always, like, you dream of that. Like, you see those stages and you're like, one day I'm gonna make it there, you know. So by time we did make it there, and it was an hour and a half set, it was just so crazy, because making a set list like that, you want to make sure that you incorporate everything that has gotten you there to that point thus far, you know. And so it was like a big task for that, and I also wanted to make sure that I represented the 413, and that I did that, like, to the utmost, you know, of my ability. So I was nervous. But you know, my city, they just been behind me so hard and so heavy through all the years. So I was just like, okay, we got this. But the sets, when they get longer, wardrobe changes and things like that, you know, those things you hope that they go right, and thank God they did.
Yes, yes.
But you know, all of that is very nerve-wracking, because if one thing is off, then it kind of throws a lot of things off. So very nervous, but we did a great job. My whole team, you know, they were with me, so I was really, really excited about that.
Definitely, definitely. And I noticed you had a couple of dances when you were performing.
Mm-hmm.
And are they on all your songs when you go to
When I
perform?
perform. So majority of the time, it's a mix. Sometimes it's me out there by myself. Sometimes it's my dancers. Shout out to Miles J and Tyler T. Miles J is also my creative director and choreographer, and Tyler T choreographs for me as well. And so, you know, and shout out to Miles J because he's an artist too. But you know, it's give and take. You know, sometimes I'm out there by myself, but when they're behind me, there is a sense of protection that I feel on stage, you know, and like I feel like blanketed, you know. So whenever they come out, I just feel like another sense of being able to just do what I do, because they're always looking out for me on stage. So, and shout out to DJ Juice too, because DJ Juice is part of my team.
Okay, definitely. You got a great team. And do you have a manager?
Yes. So I do have a manager, and the thing is like, it's just so crazy when you start, you know, working in these types of times, because I've had the same management for a long time, but I feel as if even we know that now is the time to move on to, you know, a bigger company, and somebody who has a little bit more of a network and everything like that. So yeah, that's where we're at. We're kind of like at a transition stage where I still will have the same management on my team, but we're also looking for, we're like, we got to go bigger, you know what I mean? So have management, but we're also looking for management as well.
Okay. Okay, so if there's anyone that's tuning in right now and is looking for to manage an artist, and you know has a little team already started and great people that support her, definitely link with her or her manager, and let them know where they can find you or your manager's information. Salute, salute.
So you can email me and the management at booktaijanewat@gmail.com. Management handles that email. I work with taijanew.com, but I'm just going to end up sending any business to booktaijanew@gmail.com. So that is, let me spell it for the people, because BOOK, book, Taija, T as in Thomas, AIJA, N as in Nancy, EW, booktaijanew@gmail.com. You know what I'm saying? If you feel like rocking with the kid, you know, we work hard. We work very, very hard. And that's one of the things that I feel as if we do get any type of management, I will definitely want people who are ready to go. You know, they're trained to go. Like it's time to work. So yeah, you know, if anybody's out there and you feel like you can handle the kid, let's go.
Definitely, definitely. She's a great performer. She already has her team already started. I'm telling you, definitely, she's been in the music industry since 10 years. I mean, that's a lot. What made you start to get in the industry?
So, you know, I started off as a dancer, honestly, a hip hop dancer. At one point, I had heard myself singing, and so I was like, I don't like that. And I didn't know at the time how to make it sound like the way that I wanted. So I put that on the back burner and I started dancing. I was doing a lot of talent shows and contests and stuff like that, all throughout school. So I went to college. And then I heard Nicki Minaj while I was in college, and I was like, whoa, you know, maybe I don't have to sing, because I never stopped songwriting. So I was like, maybe I don't have to sing, you know, maybe there's something here I can use, like my songwriting for, you know, my lyricism. So started writing in college, and then after that I just decided, okay, you know, go to an open mic. And when I graduated, I presented myself the first time in an open mic downtown Springfield, Mass. And then things just kind of started rolling from there by word of mouth.
That's awesome. That's amazing, especially being from your hometown and having that support right
Mm-hmm.
off jump. So, hands down to you. Definitely.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Is there anything holding you back in your career that you wish that you could be a little further in it?
Absolutely. There's always things, there's money. Money is a big
Yeah.
one. Budgets are huge, and you do what you can with the tools that you got. You know
Right.
what I
I
mean?
understand.
But at the same time, hey Frank Nino, but at the same time, we do the best we can. But yeah, even the location, it being in Springfield, we got a lot to offer, but we're not New York, we're not even Boston, you know what I'm saying? So location is a little bit difficult, and then also trying to juggle everything and make time so that you can make it to those locations. Hey Angel baby, so that you can make it to those locations. It's those are the pieces that like are very, very difficult, and especially what happened during COVID with the industry in itself.
Yeah.
Once COVID, it used to be where you could do live shows, you could build a following up, like hitting the ground organically, in person. It's not that type of time anymore. Everything is online, and everyone wants accessibility and for you to be online all the time in their face, and I've never been that type of person. So it's just like when I have something to say, that's when I want to be online, So all of those pieces and things like that, they all are like little obstacles and everything like that. But I try my best to overcome them as much as I possibly can. But yeah, if it wasn't for COVID, we had so many bookings for that particular season, for festival season. I mean, it was about to be crazy that year in 2020, and just COVID just completely annihilated any type of momentum that we had. So I try to spend my time not thinking about what coulda, shoulda, would have been, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? But that definitely, COVID definitely did something crazy to, my momentum and everything. So I do have to acknowledge that. Yeah.
Definitely. I know how you what you mean by that. A lot of artists were impacted by it, and especially when we reopen, half of the clubs aren't even open, half of the bars aren't even open anymore. And it's sad because it's like, how is artists supposed to do a tour if all these places they have to skip town and go to out of state or another town to do a show? And it's sad because we want hip hop to keep on going another 50 trillion
Right,
years. We
right.
don't want it to stop. I mean, we're in 50 years, but we want to keep on going, of course, climate.
Mm-hmm.
But it's sad because like artists like you probably would have been further where you wanted, and all that hard work that, you took the time, the money, the time. And it's sad because, you're a great artist, and I hear that
Thank
a lot from
you.
artists. You're very welcome, and you can feel it because you can see it when you're on the stage. You remind me of Remy Ma, Eve. Your voice, just when you're out there, and your stage performance is awesome, and you interact with the crowd, with which a lot of artists is, about 80%. Um, they do that, but some of them they can't do that. So salute to you. You get your flowers
Mm-hmm.
definitely. I show for
Thank
that.
you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Yeah, and I mean it's kind of crazy too, because when everything opened back up, the festivals, even that used to be where we used to get discovered. You go in front of a bunch of people, and this is where they would discover you. And the mainstream artists weren't able to sell out their own tours. So then they started coming into the festival market, and it made it even more difficult for independent artists to get on those stages. So everything just kind of shifted around, you know what I mean? But we're building momentum again. And, it's good to be in this space because I really feel like, we're picking back up again.
Definitely. I see the crowd, they interact, and they acknowledge you. And I mean, to be up for an award, I mean, that's amazing. A lot of
Thank you.
artists they do music, you're welcome, for 20 years, and they don't even get nominated for anything, and they'll be like, dang, I wasted all that time, and it puts them down and stuff like that. But salute to you. Don't let it stop you and your team, and I definitely know that you will get one. I
Thank
feel
you.
it, I can see it. You're very welcome. I was wondering, what about a line of makeup? Have you ever thought of coming out with your own line of makeup?
I've never thought about makeup before. I
Wow.
thought about clothes though.
Yeah.
I thought about clothes. I never thought about makeup before. You know what? I used to love to do my makeup like Oh my God, all the time. Like I couldn't wait to try out different things and stuff like that. But somewhere down the road, I got like where I'm like, all right, time to do hair and makeup, you know? So it's, you know, it's something that I feel like I'm good at,
Yes,
but
you're very
I don't
good.
want to like.
You're very good. Every time I
Thank
see
you.
you, you're very welcome. That's why I couldn't wait to do this interview because I had like some ideas and I could see you coming out with your line of makeup because you always have it so perfect. And I thought you go to get it done by someone,
I
but
used I used to, honestly, I used to get it done by Leandra Rivera. Shout out to her. And
mhm.
you know, she's from Springfield, but she has a place in Chicopee. Makeup by Lay, you know, is her brand. But no, she used to do my makeup a lot of the times, but it would be like a mix. Like she would do my makeup for like big shows and big photo shoots and videos and things like that. And then after I would do it any other time or whatever, or if I was out of town or whatever. But she's like kind of going away from that market now and getting into like skincare products and things like that of her own that she creates. So now I'm actually really doing my makeup
But
a
it looks
lot,
good.
but she taught me a lot. I used to pay attention
Oh,
when she was doing my makeup. I would pay attention like, oh, okay, that's how she does that or whatever have you. So I picked up tips and tricks so that I could keep it going. But she
yeah.
was just like, deuces, I'm out. I'm not doing makeup
She,
no more, y'all.
you were taught by a great person because I mean you look amazing and your
Thank
hair is
you.
always so perfect. You're very welcome. So hopefully you come out with your own line. You know that would be awesome. To come out with it. I think you should look into it.
Thank
Anyone
you.
that
I'm
can make that would
gonna
be
think
awesome.
about that. You just put a little in my head.
Definitely. Hey, I love to see everyone succeed. And if it's a way to, put it in your ear, definitely. And then someone can make it happen. Why not?
For
You
sure.
got great ideas. Definitely. What about a dancing studio? Have you ever thought of coming out with your own dancing studio in Springfield?
I have not. But actually one of my dancers, Tyler T, he's a partner in Youthful Expressions, which is a dance studio in Springfield. I've never thought of that. Just because I love hip hop dance, but dance is so much more than that, you
Yeah.
know, and there's so much skill and technique and everything that has to go into it that I know I'm familiar with, but I was not traditionally taught, you know what I mean? So I don't know enough to be like, hey, let's, let's open a studio. People be like, girl, you don't even know how to do like lyrical, no nothing. You don't know no jazz, no nothing, So it's just like, not something that I thought about, but Tyler T, he got that whole thing like on lock.
Okay,
On
okay.
lock.
Definitely. DJ Black on here from Boston. He said to send your music to him. He has a
Hi,
radio
DJ
station.
Black. I definitely will do that. As soon as I get off of here, you're gonna get that music from me. Thank you.
Yes, yes, he's a great DJ. He's been in the music industry a long time. I've been in it since 2007. He's been in it before me, but he's always stuck, right beside me. He's great people. He's down in North Carolina, I believe North Carolina.
Nice.
So, yeah, so salute to him, definitely. Great OG right there.
Yeah.
Great guy.
I love DJs. The DJs like make the world go
Yeah.
around. You know what I mean? And I just feel as if, there's not as much respect for the DJs that I feel like there was when I was like starting to come into the thing. So, DJs are just like, that's like blood right there. Like that's my lifeline.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So most definitely I will be sending my music to DJ Black. Shout out to DJ Black. Thank
He
you.
said, I live in North Carolina, also going to meet up with Fantasia and her brother BJ's for the Wise Guys Source magazine. He's done it all.
Absolutely. So you already, I mean, I was going to send it anyway, but say less.
Hey, see connection right there. That's what I
Thank
like to
you.
see. Definitely.
Yeah.
What was the best advice you've been given during your career?
The best, one of the best things I've been given was actually from a DJ. Hey, Kyle. It's actually from a DJ, DJ KLS in Springfield. He told me, I was at open mic one night and I was just starting and I was like really hungry, and a lot of OGs were around, you know, like telling me like, okay, do this, do that, da 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 da, you know, and I always was like quick to like listen because I was like a sponge. I still am to this day. And he said, yo, get your own mic. Like, why are you using a house mic? He was like, don't do that, because every single time you do that, you give your sound away. Like, now it's in someone else's hands to make you sound good. Bring your own mic. I went and financed the mic so quick.
I bet.
From that moment on, I had my own mic everywhere I went, and he was so right. Like, I would be in venues with other artists, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't share my mic. That's one thing I don't do. Like, I don't like that. Right. So, hi Trisha. I would be in venues with other artists, and they would be using the house mic, and a lot of the times they would have sound issues, you know, where I didn't. But it's all because I listened to KLS. So shout out to KLS for that. That is honestly one of the best pieces of advice I ever gotten, you know, and that was like right at the beginning. And to this day, it's still helping me, you know, so yeah.
Amazing. Definitely. That was great advice, definitely. And that's one, I always tell artists to get your own mic and have your own DJ. If you have your own DJ, they come up, as soon as you perform, they set up real quick, they interact with the other DJ to get you into a smooth turnover. And,
Absolutely.
you know, that's a major, and you already got that. So salute to your DJ, and you got DJ Black.
Shout out to
now.
DJ Juice.
Yes, definitely.
Hey,
where would you like, peace, everybody. Where would you like to go perform if you could pick one place out of the country?
Where would I like to go perform? Brazil.
Ooh, you're the first one that said Brazil.
Yeah. I
right.
would love to perform in Brazil. I just feel like with that Brazilian funk, and like just the way they always though, like, have been, like, even with samba, and like they just always have had that, like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like they get it. Brazil gets it. They have that, like, that culture and that soul, you know? So I'm just like, I would love to go to Brazil and perform there for sure.
Yes, anyone that can make that happen. DJ Black said you need to go to perform at Dubai Club 360.
Listen, I just saw everybody know I love some Beyonce. I just saw Beyonce at that performance in Dubai, and I'm like, oh my God. I died when I saw it. So yeah, Dubai, most definitely. I'm like, it ain't gonna look like what she did, but
definitely.
Definitely, Dubai is definitely a location, one of those places that I definitely would like to perform.
Definitely. I actually could see you doing a cruise, being one of the main artists on the cruise, and do that throughout the year. I could definitely see you doing that in the Caribbean, like St. Thomas, St. Lucia. I definitely could feel your vibe and your rhythm out there. Even Jamaica, you're very welcome.
Come on now. Come on, home country. No, I mean, the thing is and I just saw London too. Listen, Taija be performing anywhere, anytime. So if anybody can hook it up, I'm there.
Definitely.
For sure. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's always been a dream of mine, is to travel the world and to perform all over the world. So honestly, any place that I could possibly perform, you know, that I would definitely want to be there. Hey, Yaga, what's up?
Peace. Definitely. Are you looking for features right now?
I'm not looking for features because I'm working on my next album, which is crazy because I haven't even released the album that majority of my songs have been coming from like this year. But I'm already working on the next record, and that one I want to be a lot more intimate and just, you know, pure Taija New, so that I can present what it is that I do and in the best way possible. I feel like I got so many pockets that I dive into that I want to be able to showcase all of that. So that one's gonna be more solo, but you know, I mean, as far as features and stuff like that, hey, Toronto in the building, I see. And I've been to Toronto. I've actually performed in Toronto 3 times. But you know, like the as far as other features and stuff like that, if people got the right, if they talking the right talk, you know, management usually sends that my way. But you know, yeah, I mean, collaborating is always, I love it. And I love when, you know, the artist that's on the record pushes me to go harder because they're going so hard. You know what I mean? Those are my favorites. Those are my favorites. But yeah, like I'm always open to collaborating.
Definitely. When do you think your project will come out?
The one from this year, we're gonna see. Basically what we're doing with this project is we are, you know, I've been releasing singles, and I do release singles so that everybody can, you know, kind of see what it is that we've been working on and the direction we're going in. And I don't want to leave anybody feeling like I haven't heard anything from her. What's going on? But at the same time, I want to make sure that I have the right machine behind the album so that when it drops, it actually does something in the industry. And I want to disrupt the industry. Yeah. So you know, that's basically what we're waiting on, is to get the right people and the right team in place and the right machine to push the album, and to make sure that it's a momentum that keeps going even beyond that, so where we start booking those performances on, you know, live television and things like that. So that's what the holdup is. So I don't know when, but a single will definitely come out if that album don't drop. I'm not gonna leave everybody.
Okay. Hey, it's something that's gonna drop.
For sure.
Definitely. What is the most states or cities that you've done in one time performing? Have you gone on tour?
Yeah, we've gone on tour. First we did a mini tour called the Pride Tour, and shout out to the LGBTQ plus IA community. I love y'all so much. Like, they hold me down so much. Yeah, we did a short tour called the Pride Tour. That was like a 3-city tour, and then after the next time that we went around, there were other shows, but Prides are like, definitely, I make sure that we do Prides every year, because like I just feel as if I gotta show the community love, you know. But let me think. I'm trying to think. I don't know. And that year, I think this was the year before COVID, so it might have been, was it 6 or 7 cities?
That's
somewhere around there. Yeah. I want to do more. I want to do way more than that.
Yeah, definitely. What about a college tour? Have you ever thought of that?
I would love to do a college tour. Absolutely. Like, absolutely. And I mean, the thing about it is I never left college because I still work at a college. Yes. So, you know, I'm always in that element, but you know, I went to UMass Amherst. So, you know, that experience for me was like bar none. It's such a unique experience to go to college, you know, and that bubble that you're in for that 4 to some people 5-6 years, however long it takes you to graduate, that bubble that you're in for that time period is unmatched. Like, it's so unmatched. And I remember being in college and discovering a Nicki Minaj. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember being and being like, yo, what's this? This is new. Like, you know, so I most definitely would want to do a college tour, because I feel like when the students are in that space, they are the most like wanting to see like what's new and explore. Hey, Kiara. So with that being said, absolutely, I would love to be in that space, because I like being in places where people don't want to follow the status quo. You know, they want to discover artists, and I feel like college is definitely a time in people's lives where they're trying to do that. Oh, look, it's Pharaoh. What's up, Pharaoh?
We just talking about you, Pharaoh. Peace. Salute to you. Definitely check out his music. How about a collab with Pharaoh? I can see that.
Yeah, I mean, Pharaoh makes hot music, you know what I'm saying? So it's always those things. I feel like there's a lot of artists from the 413 that are dope, and we have not collaborated yet. And it's not really for any, like, you know, oh, we don't want to work together or whatever, but it's about waiting for the right record. You know what I'm saying? And I've had a couple come through where the right record came up, and it was just like, this is the one I want her on. And when it came through, the management was like, yes, absolutely. So waiting for the right record, you know what I'm saying? Like a Pharaoh and Taija new record would be dope, but you know, it's gotta be the right one. I don't wanna waste those collabs on records that aren't the ones, you know. So definitely shout out to Pharaoh Bacon. Salute.
Definitely. SZA popping right there, definitely.
For real.
If you could do your own tour, where would be the 5 states or countries that you would go? Only 5.
Okay.
But you could pick anywhere around the world, local or internationally.
Okay, so I picked Brazil, so I'm definitely gonna keep that on my list. Texas, and I'm trying to think. I don't know where in Texas. Either Dallas. You know what? We're gonna say Dallas because that's where SXSW. No, Austin. That's where SXSW is. So we're gonna say Austin because we're speaking that into existence. We're gonna be at SXSW at some point in the near future. Let me think. Oh my gosh, you picked such a hard one. Jamaica, definitely one. I've always wanted to go to Argentina. Argentina.
Nice.
And we'll end it with Dubai. Did I do 5?
No, one more.
Did I do 5? Okay, I got one more. Oh my gosh.
Farrell Bacon says definitely appreciate soon to come. Definitely. Don't forget home. They say home. Don't forget home.
Oh, home is always on the list. Y'all know that's a given. 413 is always on the list. And pick one, Taija, pick one. Australia.
Ooh. Salute, definitely. That's a great, awesome Australia.
Yeah, for sure.
When do you think your music was the hardest out of your career so far?
As far as
that you feel like is the best, that's you feel that that's you and that you're like satisfied 1000% out of all your music.
Well, here's the thing. I am never satisfied.
Oh, okay.
So I will create an album and I will not listen to it ever again. There's so many people who like they'll play an album like my album Hard on the Stage or Color Me Complex. I feel like I love just to kind of answer your question, I feel like I love Color Me Complex because that was like my debut. And I feel as if what I wanted to do is basically give every aspect of who I was at that point in time and what it was that I could bring, because I'm influenced by so many different types of music. And so I wanted to make sure on Color Me Complex that I did that. But also I was very much trying to prove something. And it was hard. It was very hard hitting. Like every track that I get on, I was like, like I was like, who wanted? So Color Me Complex, as far as that hunger and hearing that in the music, I definitely feel like Color Me Complex has done that. But as far as like music, just in general, what I do, I'm telling you, I make something and I don't listen to it because I hear everything that should have been fixed, that I should have done, and I just like will nitpick and tear it up. So I usually, I don't go back and listen to like the record. I'll perform it, but I won't listen.
Oh, wow.
So I'm never satisfied. Never.
Wow, that's crazy. What about do you go to the same studio to record or do you use different studios?
I mostly I use different studios. Right now I'm working in a studio in Springfield with a producer right now. So there's like a couple of things that like are kind of like on the low. But I've gone to the Stu 413 and the Stu 860. Shout out to Jay Dilly and Dilly Gang. And then I started there, and he actually produced my second album, all the beats and everything. So shout out to him. He produced Hard on the Stage. And so then I ended up kind of shifting over, like nothing really lasts forever. And you kind of feel like, okay, like maybe it's time for something new, And so I ended up going to Northfire Studios in Amherst, Mass. And I ended up meeting my co-producer on my next record, Angelo Qualia, and he was working there as one of the senior engineers, and now he has his own studio in Chicopee called Track House Studios. That is TRAQ, y'all. Track House Studios. And so I'm like, you know, I've been working with Angelo for a long time. He's so gifted, like in everything that he's done. He's worked with Joe. He's worked with so many people, SWV and Busta Rhymes and Brandy. And so, you know, he's given me a lot of gems, like a lot of gems. But yeah, I've worked in different studios and everything, but I'm a loyalist. Like I love working with the same people, because once they get me, that there's a lock-in right there, that and a chemistry that is very hard to find. So you know, I've been working with Angelo for a long time, but yeah, who knows what the future will bring.
Definitely. Do you think your music can make an impact to young teenager females?
I definitely think so, because I try to be responsible with my art. I really do. I try not to get reckless with my mouth, you know. I always said that the easy thing is to just let your mouth do whatever. You know what I mean? The easy thing is to just start going off and talking about this, that, and the third, and it's be very vulgar and stuff like that. And nothing against anybody who does it, but I just always have felt like, for me specifically, that has always been an easy, I could just do that, you know. The hard part is avoiding that. The hard part is thinking beyond that and being like, what else do I have to say? That's hard.
Right.
So I've always, you know, looked beyond, like, what is this, like, you know, oh, a gimme. I don't want any gimme records. And I try to be responsible with my lyricism, responsible in what I say. So absolutely, I do think that it could be something that I feel like young girls can be inspired by, because I strive for that, because I always think about that. The role model piece of it is very important to me.
Right.
So you know, for sure, I definitely, you know, they're part of the reason why I write. So, you know, I definitely think that they could get some inspiration from it. I don't, you know, you would have to ask them to see what that is, but for sure, I do think they could get that.
Definitely. The reason why I brought it up, I could see you being a role model for the group homes for young ladies going through, uh, you know, if it's a breakup or if it's, you know, something that has to do with their house, you know, things like that, or what a young teenager that's going through it. I feel like you can make an impact. Um, just by, you know, listening to your music, you feel it through your soul. And I could tell you've been through a lot, so that's why I feel like you would be a great role model. You know, hitting the, you know, I would say like the early teens, like from 13 to 16. You know, if it's encouraging them by your music, you know, letting them listen to it, to make them go a different route. Excuse me. I definitely can feel that, listening to your music. I don't
Thank
know if
you.
anyone has ever told you that.
Thank you. I really do
You're welcome.
appreciate that. And I just
You're
saw
welcome.
Kyle co-sign that. And shout out to Latifah. I saw you put something about Couture.
Yeah,
You know, that's one of my favorite records too. But thank you for that, because, you
you're
know, the
welcome.
thing is that I've always written to do that, to take people out of whatever it is that they're going through and put them in a specific scenario, you know, so that they can have some type of escape. And, you know, no matter, or, you know, even just have relatability, like my song Over Your Lord, which is the one that was Grammy considered. I remember when I started showing people this song, people were like really getting emotionally attached to this song.
Yeah,
And it was, they were telling me the stories, and I'm like, that is not what I was thinking about when I wrote it, but I definitely see how that ended up connecting for you. And, you know, it's crazy when you write universal lyrics, and those lyrics aren't just like a specific type of something, you know, where anybody can relate to it, and any different situation can fit, you know, that mold. So yeah, most definitely, I will hope that, you know, if I could be any type of inspiration to young girls who are going through anything, absolutely, because like I said, they're one of the reasons why I do this, and I relate so much to them, you know what I mean, so much. And I know what it's like to be in a situation to where you want to change it. You know what I'm saying? And you want to control that. You want to be the person that controls your narrative. So I completely understand that. And I relate to them as well. So yeah, you know, most definitely. Thank you. That like,
You're
wow.
welcome. Definitely, because you know, I was going through your music. I always, you know, do my research on the artists before I interview them, and you know, I went back a lot, and you know, a lot of you. There was a couple of songs that you know I did tear up,
Oh
and
wow.
I could relate to it, and that's why when I was looking forward to doing your interview because I wanted to let you know that I feel like that your voice can make a difference on young females. And that's what we need. We need these teenagers, you know, we need people that with their music to interact with them. So, you know, they're the upcoming of the future. And it's
Mm-hmm.
like if you're talking
Mm-hmm.
about killing this, killing that, doing this, doing that, that's all they're gonna think,
Right.
which is not okay to do at all. But
Mm-hmm.
they go by what inspires them as an
Right.
artist. And you as an artist, I really feel like, you know, you can definitely make an impact on like a group home if it's, you know, with the young females. I really feel that in my heart. So if you know, if you ever get a chance or if someone's on here that can make that happen, I really do feel that you can make, you know, a difference on
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, and anytime that I can reach back to the youth, like that's, I hop on those opportunities. I hop on them because I just feel as if like, you know, they impact me a lot more than I feel like I impact them. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like they really
yeah,
do, you know. It's just that spirit, you know, it's unmatched. It's
yeah,
like you can't, it's something to be in that time period of your life and to have like so much more time in front of you, you know, and then wonder which way to go, and to have that wonder. I just feel as if they definitely impact me so much more because I get that energy off of them, and I'm like, oh my gosh, you know, I remember that, you know, I remember that. And thank you for putting me in a situation to where I get that and I can feel that in where I'm at, you know, even as a 30 something year old, as
wow,
a
you look
30
real
something year
good
old,
for
and
30
being able to
something. I thought
remember
you were
that.
younger.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like that's just something. I'm like, they have no idea because they be teaching me. They be like, well, listen, this, but I'm like, half
Yeah.
the things that they do, honestly, don't even be knowing. I'm like, I don't know, you know, like, oh well, did you do this TikTok thing or whatever have you? I'm like, y'all gonna have to teach me. Like, y'all keep me fresh because I do not be paying attention.
Right, right, definitely. Um, young Sean, on here, he says salute to you. He hopefully you can work on a you guys can work together on a project. He's saying
Thank you. I appreciate that.
dedicated to his mom. He lost his mom recently,
Oh
so
my gosh. I'm so sorry to hear that.
that's what he said that you and him can make magic together for his mom's song.
I'm
So
sorry to
you
hear
guys,
that. I really am. There's nothing like your mom. You only get one.
well, he
So
lost
I
a lot
apologize.
of his
I'm sorry. My
family.
condolences.
Definitely, my condolences, young Sean. Definitely. He's on the Iccy Show next week, but
Mm.
he recently had a stroke too. So, um,
Oh my gosh.
but he's a great
Prayers
artist.
up.
Definitely.
Prayers up.
So, is there any shout outs you would like to give or anything we didn't bring up that you would like to bring up, Queen?
Um, yeah, actually, you know, I've got this new show on Patreon. It is called The Bedroom Chronicles. I've thought about this show for so long, and you know, it's finally here. And so basically, what this show is it gives me the opportunity to grow in front of everybody as a singer, because like I said earlier in the interview, I kind of put that on the back burner when I was like, this is not doing what I wanted to do. Like, I'm like, this voice isn't doing it. And so, you know, throughout my career, in each album, you hear more and more singing from me. because that's me growing and finally being like, okay, like I can do this, you know, and growing more confidence in that area. And so I decided, I said, you know what, I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna do it for real. I'm gonna go to vocal lessons. I'm gonna really start to study and perfect my craft, you know, and grow. And I have so long to go, like, y'all, woo.
Yes. Yes.
It is not like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
people try to make it seem like, oh yeah, like, no. There's just so much technique that goes into it. And so the Bedroom Chronicles, you know, I created it because my bedroom is a place that I feel my most vulnerable. It's a place where I feel my most safe, and the place where I feel like it's okay for me to make mistakes. And so, you know, doing the Bedroom Chronicles and finally, you know, exploring the singing piece and that part of my artistry, I just felt like it was a long time coming. And you know, the Grammy consideration happened, and then I released the Bedroom Chronicles. So I just feel like I'm in such a crazy creative space. And it's nerve-wracking a little bit because, you know, I never really do anything that I'm not sure that I'm good at before I show people.
Right.
So you know, I'm going through each episode and just coming through more and more and more and trying to grow and evolve. So the audience is going to see me grow. Y'all gonna see me, you know, like ooh, that, you know, that might have been a little sharper, that might have been a little flat, and kind of grow through those growing pains. So I'm excited because I feel as if the Nubian team, shout out to the Nubian team, my fans, I feel as if they've been with me for so long in my career, and they have seen that with hip hop and with my stage performance and stuff like that. So now we're here, and like, it's like a new baby, you know, and now we're able to kind of see that happen. So I'm excited for people to grow with me in this piece of my career. But the Bedroom Chronicles is on Patreon, y'all. You know, it's you can find me at Taija New on Patreon. If you already have Patreon, you could just look me up on there or look up the Bedroom Chronicles. I am on there. The link is on my page. I will put the link on this live so that you'll all be able to access it. But you know, just join the Patreon and become a member of the Nubian team on Patreon. We are at, listen, I was so excited the other day. We're at 12 followers, like 12 joins.
Yes. It's gonna
So
double
12 members. I was so excited.
Yes.
But it's like a slow burn, and I get so excited about things like that because I get to feel that growth. You know what I mean? I get to feel each person that ends up joining. I know who you are, you know? So I'm excited about it. So make sure you join the Nubian team on Patreon for the Bedroom Chronicles. But yeah, that's about it. Shout out to my team. Shout out to my husband. And you know, shout out to everybody who's watching this. Shout out to everybody who has been supporting me thus far, and who continues to support me, continues to put my name in other people's mouths and spread the word about Taija New and put me on stages. I see Kyle is hearting right now. He even put me on a stage in New Haven. So, you know, it's just, is what has grown my career, is all of you guys. So shout out to everybody on the Nubian team. I appreciate you so much. I love you, from your Nubian king.
Yes. And when is it on?
It is on Sundays. So I do an episode on Patreon specifically for members on Patreon. So our episodes on Patreon are longer. They have more in there. I do exclusives on Patreon only for members. So that is every other Sunday. We just had released one last Sunday. It does eventually end up having some clips and things like that show up on like YouTube and stuff like that. But it's nothing like the Patreon experience. So if you want the full experience and them exclusives, make sure that y'all join the Nubian team on Patreon. Right now it's free, y'all. So you know,
join. Press the button and join. Definitely. Press it. It doesn't hurt. It's free until it goes up.
It's free. Just join the team, and then when I drop episodes, you'll get those notifications. You'll get those emails letting you know that a new episode is out.
Definitely. And you'll put the link on here just in case someone didn't catch it.
I absolutely will. I absolutely will put that link on there, and all you gotta do is click that link and hit join so that you can watch all of the content on Patreon. But we were on episode 2, so we are young. We're very young, but I can't believe it. Episode 2, and I've got 12 members of the New Being team on Patreon. So we're just growing. We're just getting started. So I'm excited. I'm so excited.
Well, salute to you, definitely. Make sure you know, join it, definitely. You know, the Iccy Show started with 7 people 5 years ago. Now we're up to 606 interviews. This is a 606. We are not just local, we're international. You'll be right there. So salute to you, Queen. And I gotta get an interview on your show next time. Definitely.
Absolutely. Yeah. Because right now, it's more of me talking about the industry and what it is that I go through. And if anybody has any questions about how certain things work or whatever have you, you know, I answer those on there. Thank you, Latifah. I answer those on there. And somebody did ask me, like, do you plan on having guests in the future? And I'm like, yeah. We got to get around to that for sure. But I want to make sure that I have a big enough following so that I have something to offer. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like you come onto my platform, I definitely want, you know, everybody who comes on to leave with those fan bases being crossed for sure.
Definitely. I appreciate you coming on here, Queen, and I'm glad you came on here. It was definitely worth you know, waiting for you. I've been excited about this. You're very welcome, and definitely, you know, you're welcome to come on the Iccy Show anytime you need to promote anything or update. Just let me know. Salute to you. Keep on going. Don't let nobody stop you. Keep that crown going, and salute to you on DBN. You know, much love and respect, and keep it. Is there anything else you would like to bring up we didn't bring up, Queen?
No, you know, y'all can follow me anywhere on all social media platforms at Taija New. If you're like, I don't know which one, you could just Google Taija New. That is T as in Thomas, AIJA, N as in Nancy, EW. You could Google Taija New. All the platforms will come up, even my website if you want to join the mailing list on there. So, you know, make sure that y'all follow me. I follow back.
Definitely. Make sure you press that button, request her on all your social medias. You know, go request her. And if you're looking to book her, she has a manager. Go book her.
Book Taija New at Gmail. Book Taija New at gmail.com if you have any bookings or any shows or anything that's coming up and you want to see if, you know, I can perform. Let's talk, you know.
Yes.
I'm game. I love live performance. Everybody know that.
When is your next show? Do you have any shows coming up?
I don't have any shows coming up soon, but I do have something cooking. So if any of y'all follow me and, you know, you see me or whatever have you, just make sure that you be on the lookout because I do have an announcement to make. Oh, and another thing, on the Bedroom Chronicles, I wear different sweatshirts. Like the first one I wore from my high school and the second one I wore from UMass. So for anybody out there that has any apparel from either your school, your hometown, your business, just make sure that the business, like, it aligns with the brand. Your business or anything like that to represent, you can send that to my P.O. Box at 100 Center Street, number 89, Chicopee, Mass. 01014. And, you know, I will do my best to get that t-shirt, hat, whatever have you on the show. I will wear it on the show during one of the episodes.
Okay. That's nice. I like that. You know, that's amazing.
Thank you.
You know, to promote somebody else. And what about your brands? Are you gonna come out with some logo with your name on it or something?
We'll see. I don't know. I do, you know, like I said before, I've always been interested in like clothes. So I'm thinking that pretty soon, you know, I'm gonna start looking down that avenue because I got some ideas for sure.
Okay. I see it, definitely. Salute to you and your team. Salute to you and your DJ, everybody on your team. Much love and respect from the Iccy Show. You definitely get the flowers from the Iccy Show. Everything is perfect. I like how you want to keep on climbing and not stopping. I love that. You're staying humble, but you're also a go-getter. Salute to you, Queen. Keep that smile going. Don't let nobody stop you. You're very welcome. Salute to everyone that tuned in on this Iccy Show interview 606 interviews. Much love and respect. Make sure to put your area codes, countries, and states and follow this queen. Press the button. She is free right now, so press it. Not on for features or performance, but for her new show.
The
Definitely
Bedroom
show support.
Chronicles on Patreon. Thank you.
Yes, definitely. Would you like to rap anything or sing anything off a beat, right? I don't have a beat to play because they will mute it even if you say you own it. That's the reason why I don't play the music, but I always give the opportunity if you want to. It's up to you.
Yeah, sure. Woo, I'm fed up, refuse to settle. I know I can do better. And now you begging what you crying for. You see me walking out, you at the door. Get up, you can't get it right ever. Mama told me I could do better. Come around here, it's war. I'm over your allure.
Woo! Salute, definitely. I love it. You can feel it. See, I told you could feel it in your soul. You felt that. Everybody on here, I know you did. You can't say you didn't. Definitely. Salute. Definitely, queen.
Thank
Well,
you.
I appreciate you coming on the Iccy Show, and I thank everyone that tuned in. God bless everyone. Peace around our world. Definitely salute to DBN TV and all of Farrah Bacon, Gina, the whole team, and salute to your team. Keep on going. Anything you need for promotion, and I hope to have you back next year for the update of the 1 year.
Absolutely.
I appreciate you, everyone. God bless and have a wonderful night. This is Taija from 413 to Boston 617 to 978. Much love and respect, and keep
much love to
peace around
you
the world.
too.
Much love, Queen.
Thank you.
Keep it going.